Ready to power up your business results? In this week's episode, we discuss 21st century lawyering with Crystal Gardner from Clendons North Shore. We discuss the importance of using a CRM system to help streamline your business with Bejoy Jose from Mello Technologies. Then we learn how Alana Stewart from Walker Whalen Chartered Accountants helps businesses understand their numbers and grow. It's all here on the Engine Business Show.
Kia ora and welcome to the Engine Business Show. I'm Monique Bradley and I'm excited to help you amp up your business success with the Engine. Now, if you're not familiar with the Engine is one of New Zealand's leading business advisory organisations based here in Auckland. And to get the show started, we have a little tip of wisdom from the founder and lead advisor of the Engine, Catherine Cook. Catherine, what have you got for us today?
Well, tonight, Monique, I'd like to talk about employment. It's a very, very big topic for businesses. Quite often I see a lot of business owners going onto Facebook groups and they're asking for employment contract templates. If you're asking for employment contract templates from a Facebook group, then you need to actually consider what the impact's going to be. It is a contract. It's legally binding. I'm not a bush lawyer. I'm not even a lawyer. I'm an advisor. I'm telling businesses to really seek good advice when it comes to anything to do with legal. Even at the Engine, we have in our toolbox a very good gem called HR Toolkit. They've got a whole lot of templates, but they're specialists in their field. I'll give you an example, the 90-day trial period. A lot of people think, let me just put the 90-day trial period in a contract. They'll give it to the person, but then it's invalidated, and it's invalidated for a number of reasons. They might have got the person to come into the workplace and do unpaid or paid training before the start date. When you don't know that that will invalidate the 90-day trial period and you're in the employment court, you will get stung for big cost if you get rid of somebody under the 90-day trial period and you've actually already had them working for you previously. So get solid advice before you go and enter into any legal contract with anybody, employment or otherwise. That's my advice.
When you need legal advice, it makes sense to ask an expert. But what happens when your lawyer speaks a language that you don't understand? Well, here to demystify legal speak and talk about 21st century lawyering is Crystal Gardner from Clendons North Shore, incorporating Birdsey and Gardner Lawyers. Welcome to the studio. Oh my goodness, that's a big title.
It is a big title.
So first of all, Crystal, tell me about you.
I'm Crystal.
Hi.
I've been practicing law for a number of years now. I was a paralegal when I first joined the legal profession. I then studied full-time, was working part-time as a paralegal, studying law and business, international business.
Right.
I then moved to Sydney, finished my degree with a Juris Doctor.
Wow, so that's quite a big deal, isn't it? Remembering I'm not in the law industry.
Yeah, so it's just different. It enables you to practice worldwide. So it's a degree that's more of an international law degree rather than a traditional LLB.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so big dreams of moving to New York, be a New York attorney. However, I got married and had children instead.
Wow, so you are a mum and a lawyer.
Yes.
And now there's some integration happening. So Clendons North Shore incorporating Birdsey and Gardner Lawyers. So tell me about that.
So Clendons North Shore is a old firm dating back to 1914. When we moved back from Sydney to New Zealand, I joined the practice and I worked for a number of years with the principal. I then went off and did other things and I've come back around, reconnected with him, and he wants to move to retirement and consulting. So it was just a natural connection. And we've got that long-standing history. So now I'm taking over the leadership of that business with him in the background as a consultant, and it's an absolute delight. He's, working together is just lovely.
So you're in this position, you're young, you're a mum, you are now moving into a leadership, not just a partnership role, but a leadership role across 3 firms, is it, incorporated?
Yeah, so I also have Birdsey and Gardner Lawyers being incorporated into that, so my namesake. And Birdsey is Nick Birdsey, and he started his firm in, I think it was 2007. That was Birdsey and Associates. That's also moved and is merging with the brand, and he's going to be a consultant as well. Very different skill sets.
And I was going to jump into that because when we've chatted previously, you've got quite a unique area of expertise in law. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so historically very commercial. I started my career in Sydney and I was in corporate, so in the commercial sector. And moving back to New Zealand, got into more of that broader practice. It was ranging from commercial all the way through to asset protection structures.
Right.
But then I went in-house for a period of time and I ended up being a lead corporate counsel, specialising in technology and privacy and information security.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Love it. Absolutely love it.
And you've worked for some big organisations doing that as well.
Absolutely.
And there's not as many women in cybersecurity around the world as well. So were you a bit of a unicorn in that arena as well?
Perhaps. It's and I think law generally, like to really take that leap forward into a leadership role whilst also having a 3 and a 5-year-old is probably, I think it's quite mad.
By Jingoes. That's a lot of pressure.
It's like, it's basically taking on a third baby. It's, driving it from the ground up, because what I'm tasked with is bringing 2 traditional law firms, maintaining and respecting the integrity of those and the traditional client care and traditional practice of law into the 21st century.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. So one of the things we've talked about previously is demystifying law and bringing it forward so that real people like me, I'm a creative, I don't understand anything about law. So what is 21st lawyering and how can that actually work for me?
I think there's 4 factors. So basically it's just tipping the model on its head. So moving away from that 6-minute interval time recording, that hourly rate recording, looking at it from a sort of retainer point of view. So offering, for example, an in-house counsel extension of your desk model. So you pay my firm an hourly, monthly rate. You'll get unlimited consultations and contract reviews, for example, for that monthly rate. So it's the benefit of having an in-house lawyer, but without the overhead to your business.
Whoa,
yeah.
That's quite disruptive, isn't it? I love that.
I hope so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, this is a big deal. You're a game changer. You're a leader, not just in your business, but also in your sector. So this show is for business owners and entrepreneurs, so primarily in our audience. So from that leadership perspective, from that wisdom that you've taken and also drawing on your expertise, being a parent in business as well, what's that piece of wisdom you would share with other business owners and entrepreneurs?
I think it's important to keep in forefront of mind 360-degree leadership. Yeah.
Ooh, what do you mean?
So you lead from the front when you have to. You lead from the side, so you're in support of your colleagues or your juniors, and you lead from behind. So what that does is create future leaders, particularly, females and males in law. Yeah. It's a really tough gig, really tough. And I want to maintain a standard for my staff that enables them to move forward with the same level of confidence and the same skill set so that they can change for their generations and the future generations.
Wow. I always talk about tweetable moments in these segments, and that's just one of those 360-degree leadership.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's such a gem. I'm going to store that away for when I need that. When I'm up speaking somewhere, I'm going to say, I met this woman once and this is what I learnt from her. So look, Crystal, absolutely brilliant. And if you need help and support right now, if you need somebody who speaks real people speak, reach out to Crystal. Here's her details on the screen. Crystal, thank you so much for joining me today. I've taken away a little nugget and I know our audiences have as well. So thanks for sharing the new paradigm in law. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, for creative business owners and entrepreneurs like me, the thought of implementing some sort of infrastructure or digital technology to maintain your customer database can be quite overwhelming. So here to teach us a little bit more about that and how to streamline your business, I have Bajoy Joes from Mello Technology. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Great to have you here.
Yeah.
So Bajoy, first of all, my big question, what is a CRM system? Talk me through it.
CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. It's an online tool where you store your customer data and anything related to your business, actually, anything from starting from a lead that coming into your business and converting the opportunities there, managing your pipeline, managing your emails, anything related to the business, it will be stored in that tool.
Great, got it. So is it about that whole sales process with the client?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, so I'm a creative and everything about my business is about the relationships I have with the people I talk to.
Yeah.
So how can something like a CRM system make my life easier? Because to be honest, I'm up all hours of the night responding to emails.
Yeah.
So tell me how that can work for me.
So starting from the contacts you have, the potential leads that you have to do business with, or the inquiry that comes from your marketing channels, from your website or your Facebook, it can be directly come to the CRM. It will be stored there and you can act on it, contact them and qualify them to different processes. That can be different for different businesses. And once you qualify them, you create an opportunity against that. So, which will be a quote that you send them to have a project with you guys. And then during that process, you might have different stages. You send an estimate, you follow up, waiting for a negotiation review, or any stages. Again, that will be different for different businesses. Once you have that pipeline, you can actually manage that. So you can see your pipeline, different stages.
Like a nurturing sequence.
So you can see, hey, look, I've got 10 quotes in this stage and 20 quotes in that stage. And you work through that and you convert into a sale.
Gotcha. So it's a way of maintaining the relationship in a digital fashion, keeping on top of that workflow, the relationship, and can it help you with almost preempting your cash flow into your business as well? Because you know the stage of that relationship.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So it will give you an accurate forecasting if you're done properly. So you know what's happening in the next few months. And these days, CRMs have so much artificial intelligence into it so that it can predict how long it takes to create a sale and stuff like that.
That is so good. Yeah. I'm already sold. I want one. Sign me up. Yeah. But before we dive into that, I want to know, how did you get into becoming what I think is the guru of CRM systems here in New Zealand?
I started a digital agency 8 years back, specializing in website development and mobile app. And I used to use a CRM called Zoho.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, and then I've been using for some time. And then about 3 years back, I approached Zoho to become a partner in consulting. So that's so that I can help my clients, because as a web company, what we see all the time, people spend money on advertising and the leads come, they're not following up on the leads.
Yes.
So they're not getting a return. They're getting the leads, but, not exactly
that's me.
Converting anything, so it's just sitting there. So that's where we started, using CRM to our clients to help them start promoting to them all the Zoho CRM to them. And that's how we started. And
so the good thing for you, of course, is coming from a digital agency. You have those years of experience in the web development and the apps, and now looking at the integration for people coming into not just being attracted to a business because of the website, but it's that process that the customer goes through, or the digital sales process. That's what you now help with.
Exactly. So in these days, people use different tools. They do use a task management tool. They use an invoicing tool. They might have an ERP tool for inventory management. And so the advantage is the CRMs these days actually are so scalable and extendable to integrate with most of these platforms. So once you start to integrate with most of these platforms, you can see pretty much everything in your business in a single dashboard.
That sounds perfect. And it sounds actually like something I need desperately in my own business. So one of the questions I always ask from business owner to the business owners and entrepreneurs watching the show is, if you could give them one piece of advice that you want people to know about what you do or how you help, or how other entrepreneurs or business owners can make their business better, what would be that tip from you?
Mostly people think that they don't need a CRM because I'm too small for it. But if you really have a CRM in place and your customer data in one centralized platform, the opportunity is very big. You can actually scale your business. You know what it is. If you analyze your data, you can see where the opportunities lies. And you can even see the customer behavior, what stage they're buying, how many times they buy, and you can identify your most valuable clients. So don't think that CRM is not for me. Any business, if you have a CRM, the opportunity is very much to scale.
So it's not about taking the fun out of those relationships like creatives like me have, but it's about supporting that process, right?
Exactly.
And making life easier
that's
and more scalable. I think we all want that in business.
Everybody wants to scale their business.
So true. Now, if you want to learn more about the incredible work that Bejoy does using the Zoho suite of tools, integrating those into your business to help your workflow scale and grow your business, please reach out and get in touch. Here's how you can reach out to Bejoy. So make sure you do follow that up. Bejoy, thank you so much for joining me in the studio. So great to fully now understand what CRM's all about. Thank you.
Thanks, Monique.
You struggle understanding your business numbers like me and many of the other business owners and entrepreneurs that I get to meet through this show. Well, you are not alone, and here to demystify what those numbers mean and how they can help you in your business is Alana Stewart from Walker Wayland, Auckland. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you here. First of all, before we dive into what you do, tell me about you. You were an accountant.
Yes.
How did you get into this industry?
How did I get into it? I was blessed with the best teachers at school. And in the third form, I had a gorgeous teacher who just made it fun. And, that kicked it all off for me. I was 13.
Well, what I'm learning about this show too is many people that I speak to hail back to the dreams and aspirations they had when they were young. Have you always been hardwired to understand numbers and what they mean?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, wow. So you're now a partner with Walker Wayland.
Yes.
And so tell me I'm going to be upfront. I don't understand numbers at all. So let's have that conversation first of all. How do you help people like me understand the numbers, and how can it help my business?
Yeah. Look, knowing how to demystify the numbers is really important. But the first thing is you're not alone. You have advisors for that sort of thing. That's what we're here for. We love to teach people. But you need to know the numbers. You need to know how to read your profit and loss account. You need to know how much money you're making or not.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you're not making money,
Why
you can't
are you doing it?
pay your wages, you can't pay your rent, you can't buy bread from the supermarket. But equally, if you've got a goal of how much money you want to earn, you need to know how many sales you need to make. If you're selling shoes, you need to know how many shoots to do if you're doing what you do per day, week, month, year, in order to reach your goals.
So your numbers, your profit and loss can tell you all that?
It can tell you a lot of that,
And give you an
along
insight?
with your balance sheet.
Balance sheet. Okay, so we're going to dive into that a bit more shortly. So what you said was quite interesting. You said about education and advisory, and one of the things I've read from your website, because, my job's to stalk my guests, is that you are in that space of advisory quite often and education. So tell me about how you look after your clients, more around that sort of mentorship side or business growth, because that's part of what you do, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we do put together sets of accounts, a profit and loss balance sheet. We do tax returns, but we realise that people actually do need to understand it. So we sit down with them and say, okay, let's go through what all these numbers mean. What does it mean, the fact that your gross profit for the year is a lot less than it was last year? How did that come about? What does it mean? And let's break it back down into reality. Let's break it down back to what you do every day, relate it to what you do every day. And you might say to me, well, my gross profit is down because yes, my costs have gone up. Why have they gone up? Oh, because shipping costs more. So you break it down like that, and it's teaching people how to do that and supporting them in doing it, of course. We're not in somebody's business every single day, so we need them to be able to think about these questions themselves, but then to look for help in totally demystifying it, getting an answer and getting some help to move on with the next step of whatever it is they want to do.
Right. So my understanding then is by really sitting down with you and getting somebody to explain to somebody like me in real people language what that might mean and being able to quantify why that might have happened. That's what you do. So how so if we look at the numbers that have gone before, and keeping in mind, I am really new to numbers. I've always been on the creative side of a business. If we look back at the numbers, does that enable us, especially for people in creative sector, to potentially forecast what life could be like?
Absolutely, yes.
Because often we create dreams or goals which are physical, tangible goals, but creatives often don't look at the numbers side of that.
Yeah.
So and I am speaking only from my own experience for the creative sector, how can that help me grow my business in the future? What can I take away from that?
Well, it's like anything. You set your goals, as you've said. Part of those goals have to be financial, because we live in a world where we need money.
True.
We do. And so therefore you have to use the forecasting part of it to help you reach those goals. But not just forecast, you actually have to measure against your forecast all the time, and you have to do it really regularly. So there's no point in getting 6 months down the track and all of a sudden saying, oh, there's no money in the bank, I've got no invoices out there for payment, what do I do? If you set your goals, measure them regularly, then you won't come up against those problems.
Oh, yeah. So it removes a bit of the risk and a bit of the I just hope it works kind of nature.
Yes.
Gives you a bit more certainty.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
Brilliant. Now you're a partner of the business.
Yes.
So from a business partner to other business partners or owners or entrepreneurs, what's that one gem that you wish you'd known years ago, or that that burning desire that you have to share with other business owners and entrepreneurs? What's that gem of wisdom?
It really is that you're not alone. Quite often people are running businesses on their own, and they need to realise that, yes, there's lots of hats they have to wear, but they can get help for that. There's lots and lots of places where you can ask questions. There's lots of advisors out there that can assist you. And obviously not just in the accounting space, but marketing and all the other little hats that business owners have to suddenly take on when they do have a business. So you're not alone, and always ask for help if you need it.
Absolutely. And I think there's so many of us who are a bit scared to do so. So thank you for humanising accounting for me. I don't feel quite so scared. And if you want your numbers demystified, the team at Walker Wayland are more than happy to help. So here is Alana's contact details for you, and details on how to get in touch with Walker Wayland. Alana, thank you so much for joining me in the studio. I actually feel less anxious thinking about my numbers now, so thank you for demystifying that for me. And I'm actually looking forward to forecasting, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
What is the engine?
Wow, it's not a car, but it's like a car. It has many, many moving parts. So it's a group of professionals skilled in their own specialist areas, and we work collaboratively. So if you come to the engine and you say, I want a website, the chances are you'll be asked, where's your marketing strategy? And the reason we do that is we don't want to be known as the business that can help someone build a website that has a front door and nobody knows about where to find it. So at the engine, we work collaboratively, and we've got 3 providers that will work with you on brand strategy, marketing strategy, and me as the advisor will basically bring it all together and make sure that you keep on track and keep you accountable.
So my name is Jo Jensen. I've always had a bit of an entrepreneurial drive behind me, and had a career as an executive assistant working for a CEO and a board. Realised that I loved what I did and I loved the variety, and went on maternity leave. Wanted to start a business for myself, and realised that there's lots of people out there who actually need executive assistant type support, but they can't, either afford to have someone full time, or they don't actually want to have an employee. So my business, Strictly Savvy, now provides virtual assistant services to all sorts of SMEs around the country, doing all of their back office, admin, bookkeeping, and anything that frees up a business owner's time so that they can use it for generating revenue and more sales and growing their business. Catherine, yeah, she's an amazing woman. She really knows how to make stuff happen, and she loves helping people and connecting people. We met her maybe 5 or 6 months ago, and ever since then, you know, the back and forwards, referrals, the supporting us supporting her, sharing content, promoting the Engine, because we really believe in what the Engine stands for. You know, just supporting business owners to have resources, savings, information that they need, access to providers, access to, you know, advisors who can help them, you know, give them that support that they need. Because we all know that we can't do business on our own, and we need lots of people around us. So, yeah.
So why should people work with the Engine?
Because we have a great bunch of people with big hearts that have all been through roads of adversity, that understand, and adversity is different for every person. So adversity for one might be seeming greater, but in actual fact, adversity for everybody is the same. Adversity is being able to build resilience and be stronger. And everyone handpicked by myself and the Engine understands adversity, understands heart, understands the importance of surrounding that business with the right people and building up that resilience. That's why you should work with the Engine. We actually are not people that are going to create strategy that will sit in your bottom drawer. We'll say to people, I'm not your usual advisor or coach, and neither are the people in the Engine. We actually swim in the pool with you. We swim alongside you, and then we jump out, and then we get back in, we swim with you and we jump back out. But we never leave you. We're always there. And I've got clients who are currently not paying clients but have been, but they constantly check in with me. And then they come back and be paying clients. So when they leave, it's not doom and gloom and goodbye and all that. We're friends for life. And I know all about their families and their updates, and we check in. And that's what's really important, is come back to heart.